Welcome to BBC Podcast, tapping in with Tunchi again. Today we got another special edition, got another alumni returning. Got my boy BSG back on the line, man. We was watching his growth, man. Like he's been expanding, man, like big time. So I'm gonna reach out to him, let him reintroduce himself, and then we're gonna touch up, man, see what's new with him.
Got you. Appreciate that, man. What's up? It's your boy BSG from New York City, man, where the skies are gray. I'm doing my thing. I'm just trying to be a hero for men and also give thanks to the women that support the men out there who are, again, always focusing on trying to grind and grow on themselves and also push those traditional values and hold themselves to them standards, man.
So since last, man, what's new for BSG?
What's new for BSG? Collaborating with It's Tay Tay in June. That's going to be what's up. That's going to be a whole week of me just in super hot ass Texas. I'm going to try and see you guys as well.
Yeah. Sure.
While I'm out there on the other side, definitely meet you guys in person. That's going to be what's up. Yeah. But overall, man, I look at my content every single day. I watch my stuff every day, and I'm always telling people, like, I don't put anything out that I can't laugh at. I don't put anything out that I don't think is going to get a point across or isn't going to be seen as a lesson to some degree. I'm always trying to look at where I started. You know, I got all my old videos on YouTube. I watch those videos, and a lot of them are cringy. You know, like you all start off in the beginning, they're cringy, but as time goes on, you become more professional. And I'm always just trying to be more creative. I've been recently working harder on my music, my parody music recently. Okay. Trying to do more skits, trying to get my point across from more of a unique Black Spider Guy advice kind of theme. I've been kind of staying away from the words like red pill, words like MG, MGTOW, all that stuff, because again, like those words sadly do come with some kind of stigma. Mm-hmm. And I want people to know that Black Spider Guy advice, he talks about that stuff, but I'm also talking about other things within that general tone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Man, speaking of your music, do you have anything? Is it on Spotify or anything? Or?
So I don't have anything on Spotify music wise. No, actually, that's a lie. I do have a podcast on Spotify. Everything's Black Spider Guy advice.
Okay. But
I do have some songs on there. I should really have that on Spotify for music, not the podcaster's edition of it.
Okay.
But eventually, once I feel comfortable, because again, I don't want to give people a bad product.
Yeah.
So until I feel like I'm giving you guys like good music, I'm not gonna make like a specific Spotify playlist for just me. I know some people have been requesting that. A lot of my followers have been like, "Yo, man, I want your music on Spotify."
Yeah.
Eventually.
Okay. And then I seen, and you've been collaborating on podcasts and stuff like that. You doing something with yourself? Like it's.
Oh yeah. So I was working on some stuff. This guy reached out to me. My boy Raj. He has a podcast called The Full Notice, but he's starting off. He wanted to have somebody that kind of already is in the game. Okay. And I'm very big on action. I'm very big on, okay, what are you trying to give to me? I'm giving you my consistency, my effort, my fan base. If we're going to work together and co-host, what's this going to look like? And, I'm very impressed by the man. He's got everything set up very professionally. We're currently building up the podcast as we speak in this nice studio apartment looking over the water, the Hudson, with the Washington Bridge in the back. Full notice. It's going to be nice, man. It's something I'm really happy to be building with this guy, Ross, because, again, I was always trying to figure out how I can step up to the next level. What's the next level? And, when you're doing this on your own, you sometimes forget it's nice when you've got other people who are just as hungry to work right alongside you to get shit done.
Yeah.
So look out for that. Full notice. Definitely would love to have you on, man, because you've been having me on.
Oh yeah, man, I love it. Love your content for sure.
Appreciate that. I'm just trying to at the end of the day, just like you got your stuff over there on the West Coast, just like Fresh and Fit got their stuff down in Miami. We want to have something here in Jersey, so we just want to set up something and just kind of distinguish on the East Side.
Okay. All right, man. So let's get started a little bit, man. We got to always start with the men, and always like make sure that we hold men accountable, and then we pay attention down to the women where it drives down, where everybody always wants to see them. That's what they want to gain outside of money. So
right.
BSG's advice would be, give me three ways a man 18 to 25, like where can he build the confidence and how can he stay confident? Like outside of like, we know that's where you need to start. You need to build yourself, you need to build your value up, you need to become somebody. So in order to initiate, majority of the time it's easier when you're confident. Like what are ways that BSG can recommend?
So the first part, man, I would just say is put yourself into turmoil. As fucked up as that may sound, that'd be the first thing. Because people think that, time creates maturity. It definitely doesn't. Iron is only turned into steel when it's put into flame. So you have to constantly put yourself in the fire, constantly test yourself. I know one guy was telling me, I want a girlfriend, but I'm like, have you ever gone up to a girl? He's like, nah. And I'm like, how are you going to be able to handle a woman with all of her ups and downs if you are too scared to initiate and too scared to handle the regret and the pain that comes with that possible rejection? So the first thing I would say, again, is put yourself in the forefront, throw yourself out there. The second thing I would say is you need to ask yourself, and some people wouldn't recommend this, but compare yourself to other men of value, right? Even though they say, oh, don't compare yourself. No, you should definitely compare yourself, especially if that's where you want to be. If you're trying to be like, I don't know, McDonald's and have a multi-trillion-dollar corporation, you need to evaluate their history, see what they did, and try to mimic that in the best way you can. Then you'll see growth. A lot of dudes will, for example, mimic me. One dude was like, yo, I could do what you do. I said, do it. He tried to, but he failed. He's like, I couldn't do it. And I was like, why do you, I asked him, I was like, why do you think you couldn't do it? And he's like, honestly, it was the consistency and it's how you give your delivery. I was like, what you do is you mimic, but you don't mimic to the point where you're a copycat, right? Yeah. You take elements of what other men have done and you make it your own. Yeah. And the last thing I would say is work on your trauma, right? You gotta work on your trauma. I had a lot of issues with my mother. That honestly, now looking back, definitely was holding me back from being able to be my best self. Because again, I feel like you're best able to operate as a man when you're living in complete mental peace and clarity. Yes. You know what I mean? I tell dudes all the time, if you're too emotional, you're basically a living weapon walking around. And, you're not going to be able to work on that business if you're dealing with the trauma of what happened to you when you were a kid. Mind you, I had that trauma like for a long time and it was difficult, but eventually I was able to forgive my mother and now we're very close. Okay. So, again, the first thing I think I said was, put yourself into serious situations. Iron only becomes steel when it's put in the flame. Second thing, mimic the people that are successful. Take elements of what they do. And the last thing, work on your trauma and just try to heal from that best you can, so you have mental clarity, so you're able to best do what you can in serious situations.